Call to order the April 12th meeting of the Village of Cold Spring Planning Board. Chair's remarks, nothing. We've got minutes from the last meeting, the 3/22 meeting, if people want to take a look. At this point in time, the ACAREP it was a bit low, and they wanted them to send additional information. Since then, it's okay.
Boy, these are nice minutes.
Very good.
Thank you. Quite elegant.
Are those both the same?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Apologize.
Oh, good. I was wondering if I thought we waived the public hearing, but at least it's in here. I just told John yes. I said, yeah, we did. Board consensus. Okay. This look good to me with that one change.
I move
Motion,
we approve the minutes as amended.
very good. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Correspondence, we got nothing. No new business, so we'll move on to old business. This, you guys all received in your, oh, you got one?
Got them.
In your email, which is a resolution for 7 Marion. Actually, Steve, if you wanna come up.
Sure.
And you could read along too. So, we had talked about, kind of doing this differently in that there was always concern by the boards, all the boards really, about putting power and plumbing, and there's really nothing in the code that supports that. And so what, and it's really, we wanna make sure that we're not assuming that people are not gonna not follow the code, are not going to, are going to follow the code.
Will.
A double negative. And you can't really kind of, you shouldn't be doing things that way. So, I spoke to the lawyer and I said, it seems like the right thing to do is really just make sure that we put the right things in the resolution to say that we're, to be very clear about what we're approving. So we can kind of read through this, the whereas statements. I mean, I think it all reads correct to me. The only thing is the plan dates. I guess let's go through it. Whereas the Village of Cold Spring has received an application from Stephen Judith Rose to construct a 700 square feet accessory structure for their private non-commercial use as an art painting studio. The proposal at the property located at section 48.12, block 2, lot 61.1. The Village of Cold Spring, also being known as 7 Marion Avenue, the property. The property lies within the village's R1 zoning district, as well as the village's local historic district, and in accordance with section 134.7F, any new proposed building within the R1 zone, other than a single-family dwelling and associated garage, must come before the planning board for site plan review. And whereas the applicant also needed approval from the village's historic district review board, and this is a type 2 action pursuant to State Environmental Quality Review Act, which is an exempt action, so no environmental review is required. No need for any referral to the county planning department, as it's more than 500 feet from a state or county road or park. The planning board, whereas the planning board waived the need for a public hearing in accordance with section 134.27C4, and whereas the planning board has reviewed the aforesaid application materials submitted by the applicants, and now therefore it is hereby resolved, the planning board determines that the site plan application meets all general site plan objectives set forth in 134-27A of the Village Zoning Code, and it is further resolved that the application of Stephen and Judith Rose for the site plan approval and plans last revised on, is it the same ones, right?
Well, there's just there were just some tweaks that were put in last week.
There was a measurement error, right, in the
Oh,
plans?
right. Yeah, he also
That they
showed
fixed.
the ridge.
I don't-
Did he change the date, the revision date on them?
This is a 4-9. Is that what you mean?
That sounds right. Yeah, no, that's definitely, okay, great. So let's, let me just go, because I haven't seen these, let me just go through these really quick.
Yeah.
There was he had a wrong number on the side setback or something that you caught, Steve?
But that was,
Oh, that was before?
yeah.
I thought this had to do with there was something with the ridge height, right, where the plans were misleading.
The height,
Yeah,
it was about 36 feet or something, we were
Right.
saying that's 24.
yeah, right, exactly, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great, this
Oh,
looks
I
good.
didn't look at that, sorry.
Alright, so they're dated 4/9. 4/9. Involving the real property situated at section 48.12, lot 2, lot 61.1 in the village of Cold Spring. Said lot also be known as 7 Marion. Cold Spring is hereby granted subject to the following conditions. Obtaining approval from the village's Historic District Review Board, if not already done so. At all times, the proposal shall be used as a private art studio for the property owner and shall not be utilized for commercial purposes. There shall be no on-site sales, viewings, or office hours for visits. At all times, it shall not be occupied as a residence on either a full-time or short-term basis. No bathing or cooking accommodations are permitted, and there shall be no additional parking spaces as part of the proposal. And then the final one, which is generic, subject to payment of all outstanding escrow consultants fees to the village of Cold Spring as may be required in connection with the project. So that's the approval, and I think this is a good way to do it, as opposed to just being kind of worrisome about, well, what's gonna happen. I think what we really need to do is put it in our resolutions and say, this is what we're approving, as opposed to being afraid to approve something that is fully complying with the code, but yet we're concerned what might happen down the road. So this way that it's documented, even if they were to sell the property or to subdivide or whatever.
You gotta come back.
Yeah, and this way, because you're not allowed to have 2 homes on a property, you have to do something, so obviously that's why, I think this is the right way to do it.
I think you can have.
You can
Well,
have
if you-
2 homes
well,
on a property.
Right, but that's not what we're approving, I'm sorry, that's not what we're approving here, yeah.
Just-
That's not what we're approving here.
No, we're not. This
Matt,
is
can
not
we
a
see
second
the
home.
Yep.
plan real
Yep,
quick?
yep.
Thanks.
I'll be pretty close for a second home.
No, not
Our
so,
vacation home is right down the
Staycation.
hill.
a she shed, or a
Actually,
he shed,
it'll be cooler,
yeah.
cause it'll have
Oh, yeah.
air conditioning.
It's really cool. Does this kind of thing look like my name is wrong? Is that
It's hyphenated, right?
this happens all the time?
It's,
It's doesn't matter.
it's,
It's spelled sorry,
what is he? Oh, it's reversed.
just a
Alright,
typo.
we'll fix that. Alright, so we'll make the,
I
we'll
don't
make,
wanna hold anything up, but
no, we'll make the changes, Chef, you're right.
We need to get
And you're
your
not-
name
and you're not-
right.
It's not hyphenated, right?
it is. This is just the second part of my last name.
Yeah, so it should be the hyphen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll correct it.
Look good?
Yep.
Very good. Okay, so we just have to make a couple edits. We get Lara's fill name. And then we'll take out the italics. John was not sure whether or not we had waived the public hearing. And I remember we had done that last time when we met. Cause obviously they'll be subject to have lots of public hearing, but certainly a full public hearing with the HDRB. So we didn't really think it's necessary to put somebody through a public hearing for an accessory structure, or 2, certainly not 2. Alright, so with those amendments, we'll just do a roll call vote.
Well, it's a thing here, it has to be presented and seconded.
What's that?
It's calling for it to be presented, is for a motion. Just underneath the vote tally. Following was presented by member, seconded by member.
And I can't do it.
Right. Oh, right, to put it up, right, yeah. Motion to adopt the resolution?
Make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
I didn't hear who seconded.
Sue?
Thank you.
Okay, great, so roll call vote. Member Hawkins is absent. Member Rose will abstain for obvious reasons. Lara?
She had
Aye.
Aye.
Sue?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Very good. So the motion and the resolution carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I told John not to come in. I said, I need to waste your money. I think this is pretty straightforward. So,
John?
John is the village attorney.
He's
Yeah.
the one that wrote this.
Yeah, so we don't, since we don't even have to do seeker, we're not, I think it's,
Yeah.
I like him to do the resolutions, because that way they're nice and tight, which is really the only thing that survives for the village. So that's it. Great. So
So-
just have,
Go ahead.
and I'll show you an email, have the architect just drop off 2 sets of full-size plans, and then we'll stamp them, and then I'll sign off on them, and then that way, then you'll have one, and the building inspector will have one.
This is for the planning board.
2 for us, for the planning board, and then I'll stamp them, the planning board has approved them, and then give 1 set to the building inspector, and then the other set will go in the file.
And what's a full-size plan?
Whatever you want. I
Should
mean,
that-
even 11 by 17 is fine.
Should that be after the HDRB public hearing in case they decide to tweak something?
Well, no, because we're not gonna review them again.
Okay,
Let them just,
I mean, whatever they review
Yeah.
will be minor
yeah.
compared.
Yeah, no, I think it should represent whatever we saw and approved. Yeah, no, go ahead and just have them, 11 by, I think 11 by 17 is fine, because they're not full, these aren't full
Sorry.
construction plans, so it's not like there's really a whole lot to see.
Because,
11 by 17 is fine.
yeah, because the size of the building's
Isn't there supposed to be
small.
a set, send him by email?
What's that?
Sent you email, the.
No,
plan?
printed.
No, but didn't we say that before they had lots of printed copies?
Well, that's what this is. We already have it electronically,
Oh, okay.
but this one has to be rubber
All
stamped
right,
and then signed, so it has to be, we have to work with paper for that one.
okay.
That's the last one for the file copy, yeah, for the
Right.
last. On the inbound side, like when the application comes in with all the supporting stuff, that's good to have it electronically, which they did, which was
Yeah,
helpful.
okay.
Well, we appreciate James Hart for doing that.
Yeah, it's very good. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, great. All right, that's it for this.
What do I do with, about the escrow?
So what'll happen is I'll send John the edits to this tomorrow, and then I'll ask him like in a couple of days for his final bill. And then he'll submit his final bill. I can't imagine he spent much time on it, and then they'll refund the balance to you. Is the HDRB using any escrow or?
Not that I know.
Okay.
I think he spent more time writing the email, making sure there was no conflict of interest with me than he did writing.
Yeah, they get very nervous on that stuff. You have to waive it
He
all.
wanted to make sure that he had no inside knowledge about this.
Oh, you got a long email? Mine
Oh, it
was
was a
just to
very
waive it.
long email,
Yeah.
and I didn't even think the wording was right. I challenged him on it, but I said, I think what you mean is that you don't know anything about this
About the
because of
application.
me.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, no, they have to be very careful, but they just don't want, they don't want to take the firm
Yeah,
into areas where it can be problematic.
I just thought it was a little funny, because it was more time than this, probably.
Could be. All right, so I'll, and within the next few days, I'll ask him for his final bill, then I'll approve that, and then we'll have a remaining balance that then that you can ask the village clerk to refund it back. Okay? All right, that's it for it. There's no public, other than your daughter. Is there any public comment? We have no board business tonight.
She's
Do we have
not commenting.
a 15-minute meeting? Is that short enough, Michael?
I guess.
He came off of HDRB last night. We are
Oh my God.
woefully inadequate to the HDRB run times.
Oh, geez, and they start late too.
Oh,
Yeah, I
we
know.
received your letter. The registered letter to inform that, yeah, we received that.
Oh, no.
Did you send, I think you sent back the form too, right?
Yeah, well, we sign at the post office, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, they keep it, right.
Mhm.
All right, motion for adjournment,
I move we adjourn.
the second?
Second.
We are adjourned.
Hallelujah. Best meeting all year.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
It's still light out.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I will miss both